Educate, inspire, change. Educate yourself, inspire others, change the world. Hello and welcome to my Facebook Live. I have the honour and privilege of sitting with my friend, Mitra Politi. Mitra is a curandero, a healer, an author, and you've been on this path for many, many years, and it's an honour for me to be able to sit with you today.
It's an honor to be here. It's an honor to be here.
Thank you so much, brother. We're here today to talk about your own journey, your own healing path, which has resulted in you recently publishing a book called Insights, Steps to Truth. I myself read the book for the first time last night, and it's super profound. I could really feel the energy in your words and the amount of wisdom and the amount of how, the journey that you went on to create this book was seriously profound. And I just wanted to discuss the journey that you've been on, what started you on this healing path, and just tell me, first of all, when you began this healing journey and what set you on this road to become the healer that you are today.
First, thank you for reading the book and feeling it firsthand and the impact of it. This is why I wrote it, that it will aggravate a longing for people. My journey started around 26 years ago, while traveling in India, and in that time I was exposed a lot to a new world, a new culture, while coming from the Israeli army, actually. And that moving from one extreme to the other extreme was causing a lot of changes within me. A lot of my pieces of my personality started to fall apart, but without me knowing what is really happening. But as the pieces of the personality was moving aside, something else started to knock on the door, more substantial, and it was the spirit of creation. But I was still puzzled with what is happening. I went back to Israel after a year, and my friend took me to Jewish mysticism. And this guy is just looking at your forehead, and he can read anything about you. And he told me, you need to go to learn healing. You're going to help a lot of people. And funny enough, in that time, I was checking to go to study Chinese medicine. And I said, okay. I went the day after. I signed up to the university for 4 years. And I just jumped into the boat. While I started to study the Chinese medicine, I understood why it was so obvious for this rabbi to tell me that, because it felt like I already knew the information, and somebody is just reminding that to me. And of course, in that point, I started to understand more also on my personal evolution, what happened to different layers of my personality, and what I got exposed to into the spirit level. And funny enough, there is a strong meeting point between healing, meditation, and the essence of who we are. There is a point that they are all meeting, that you are using these experiences of the essence of who you are in the way that you are healing people. And as more as the healer can engage with himself, and as more as the healer can go deeper into his own story, and to discover, then as deeper as the healer can heal the other. It's like it's a mirror. So it just encouraged me to go deeper, and to understand this phenomena of living in this body. What does that mean? What does that mean?
It's a great question, isn't it? So if I understand what you're saying correctly, the more you know yourself, your true essence, then you're more equipped to heal others.
Yes, completely. It goes hand in hand.
And the way the world is designed these days is almost designed to keep us away from our true self.
Oh yeah.
We are born, we are given names, we are told this is your religion, this is your belief, that you go to school, you get a job, you get married, and this is success.
Yeah.
So we are born with all these walls around us. And it's up to us as, yourself as healers, to break down these walls. And it sounds to me like this is what the journey that you've been on for the last 26 years.
Yes, it's completely like that. It's because society is putting already, they give us a map. They tell us, okay, you should do this and this and that. That is success, like you said. But they also give us a wrong way of seeing ourselves. Why is that? Because we are seeing ourselves through the outside, not from within. And when our eyes or when our curiosity starts to shift from what I really made of, who I am really in the essence, then the relationship starts to change. What I gather from the outside starts to be less relevant, and who I am really start to get a different weight. Yeah, and that it starts to reflect to all what we are doing. If it's healing, is just one aspect of it, but it could be just who I am on a personal level, on a daily basis.
Sure. And I believe that you're a very well-respected healer. I've heard many people talk about you and they highly regard you as a healer. So, and I understand that meditation is a huge part of your practice.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Meditation, part of going inward, meditation is the technique, but is maybe the most important technique that we can use in order to go inward. So in the last 26 years, especially in the beginning of my journey, I met an awakened teacher that was triggering. Really, he opened a door for the essence of silence. And then meditation was easier to understand. Meditation was easier. The magic that you can encounter through meditation, it gives all the understanding to who you are really. Yeah, and that again is giving a color to whatever we are doing.
And so I imagine when you're studying meditation for so many years, it opens many other doors. So you work with different healing modalities, like Chinese medicine you mentioned to me earlier. So can you explain to me what kind of, when you're meditating, you're channeling a higher energy, and this energy guides you into becoming the healer that you are.
It's not that you're channeling an energy. Meditation, in the essence, you are meeting your own creation. Wow. You are meeting the spring of your life force. Yeah. Of course, when you are there, then it's like you're getting really in tune with the cosmic energy, or with nature, with creation. But it starts by you following your life force, by you following your inner silence, and slowly you are going into the spring where it is started. Yeah. When we are meeting that inner source, then it's a game changer. It's a game changer, because before I would want to receive the love from the outside. I will want to receive the satisfaction from the outside. I want to receive the sense of acceptance from the outside. But you can imagine that all of these good feelings you can get from within. So it's not anymore dependent on the outside. What it does depend on is the amount of longing, sincerity, integrity that we are bringing into the meditation practice.
Beautiful. So obviously I read your book last night for the first time, and I'm hearing the wisdom, and I can really feel the energy in all the words. And I'm curious to know, like, tell me, you meditate, you studied Chinese medicine, you work with different plant medicines, and you combine all this knowledge and then you pour it into this book, yeah? So what I'm curious to know is the inspiration behind the book. What stimulated you to start writing?
Oh, it's I was writing in a time of a crisis, no? So I was writing for myself to get a reflection of truth that I already knew, or pieces of truth that I experienced in the spiritual path, just to give me a tool to come back to myself. Because in that specific time, there was a lot of deception around me. And at one point, I didn't know what is true and what is not. So I said, okay, I will sit and I will write. And when I need, I will look at what I wrote and I will get that reflection. So I use it as a form of meditation, the words, after I was reading it, and will sit with it and just let it take me somewhere inside. And I did it over a year. In the end of this year, I looked and I had like a thick book. And one day I was just looking at the whole book. And I said to myself, my God, there is something really, really valued here in this world. One day I will make a book out of it. So I never sat with the intention to write a book. I sat with the intention to support myself.
Beautiful. I find the irony and the beauty in that is poetic in itself, and I can relate to it as well, because this platform that we're talking on today, Educate, Inspire, Change, it came from a similar fire where I was depressed, I was suffering, and I couldn't see my own son. And this was my way of healing myself, to create this platform as a way of communication with him and to heal myself. So I really resonate deeply with this message, the inspiration behind the book, And and you wrote in the book about that some of the words came to you from a higher source. Other words were from your own wisdom. But I'm really interested to hear, how would you do this? Because many writers around the world, I know they need to create a very open space where there's no distraction, so they can really be in alignment and produce the best, most resonant words, Yes. So tell me about this. How did you, when you were writing, paint the picture for me, how does it look when you're channeling from a higher source and writing the words?
Beautiful. It's like the word channel. We have a lot of concept about it. So I will soften it up, and also will make it more as it was really, because when we talked about meditation, so some of the words came from the same place of meditation, that is from the deeper spring of myself. But there is a phenomenon that is happening when we are connected to the spring of who we are, and then we are also connected to the spring of life itself. And then it feels like it's just being given to us. But it's because there is a certain synchronicity between the inner state that we are and the out state that we are. I never look at it in this way so much, because for me it's natural. If I am connected, then I'm connected to myself and I'm connected to creation. Now, if I receive it from here and I receive it from there, I receive it from creation. And it's like where creativity is giving birth. From where creativity is giving birth?
Yeah, good question. From the creator.
From the creator.
Yeah.
So from the creator inside of us and from the creator around us. And we are a bridge. We are the meeting point of that creation.
That's beautiful. So reading the book last night, I took some screenshots on my phone of some of my favorite passages from the book. So maybe I can read one or two to you, and then you can explain to me deeper. Give me a wee second here. Let's find the best one. So there's one here that I'm going to read. Inner war, inner peace, outer peace. All that is within is reflected without. Once this understanding penetrates, it changes our essence. On one hand, so much responsibility. On the other hand, so many choices. When peace dwells within me, so will there be peace around me. The test is in making an inner choice for peace, time and time again. Whenever the conflict arises within us, whenever war is at hand, in humility and grace, may we choose inner peace.
Yes. Well, I get goosebumps. It's like there is the I'm coming from the Mediterranean and from the Middle East, and there's like you see conflict around so often, no? And and it's easy to judge it. Ah, okay, it's they have the wrong reasons for this conflict and that conflict. But when we are going inside, then I discovered that I have my own inner conflict. Yeah, and how important it is to find a way to create that peace inside of me between these two obstacles, between the Mitra that wants that and the Mitra that wants that. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um, so, and how it's being played out. So when I carry energy of inner conflict, when I carry energy of a bad dialogue, yeah, it will immediately reflect also in my reality, in the way that I treat the person that I'm going to the shop with, in how I drive the car, and so on and so on. That inner conflict or that inner tension that we are carrying will express itself or will invite stuff from the outside that will show us life is a conflict. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's a struggle. But in the moment that we are aiming and we are managing to come back into wholeness, create the inner peace with ourselves, then suddenly life looks a little bit different. We don't meet as often the conflict from the outside. Yeah. So there comes a question: which work, if we want to support life, if we want to support humanity, what is the real work that we need to do? We need to run and to fix things outside. Yeah. To a certain extent, yes, for sure. But there is so much responsibility that comes when we understand that. There is so much responsibility that comes with it, because I need to create that inner peace inside of me. I need to bring peace into the inner conflict. Yeah, to this almost sometimes like a violent dialogue that we have with ourselves. It could be that oneself is just criticizing himself or judging himself or dislikes himself. It's already, there is a split inside. Yeah? So how we bridge it.
I feel this deeply. With my page, Educate, Inspire, Change, in the past, I used to share information about the world, war in Palestine, war in Iraq, and all this information. And I realized in the last 2 years, since being on my own healing journey, that instead of sending out all this negative energy, I remind people to focus that you can heal yourself to heal the world.
Yes.
So instead of spreading information and negative energy, just spread messages of healing. Because when you do this and enough people are on your journey or on my journey in this healing path, the world will automatically heal itself. When we are at peace with ourselves, the world around us, since I've healed myself in many ways, my children are happier, my mother is happier, my partner is happier. Yes. It's vibrating all around me, you know.
This is it.
Yeah.
This is the same. It's the same reflection as the poem is talking about. Beautiful. Yes. It's we are creating an impact without doing anything, just by taking care of ourselves. We are creating an impact, and as more as we are investing the energy in goodness, and then more goodness will be. I truly believe it. I truly see it in my own personal life and in other people's life.
Beautiful. Yeah, it's so profound. And that's just one passage from the book, and there's hundreds of passages. So that's just, we could talk about this one for hours and hours. Yes. And it just shows how powerful this book is. You know, like with each passage, you can have an entire movie just for that one passage. It's really, really amazing. And I want to get from you just, while people are watching this and they're understanding what the book is about, what for you is the ultimate purpose of the book or the goal of this book for you?
It's a very good question. It's the purpose of the book. One is to aggravate a positive longing, to aggravate the longing of the reader to come back to himself, to inspire that longing that always aim for this inner peace, that aim for harmony, that aim for prosperity, that aim for goodness, and if the words will do that, then the magic happens. Yeah. It's also my hope that people will use it in the time of a need, that they will just read it and will take a moment to reflect back into goodness, to reflect back into truth, that it will open that inner curiosity that we have about ourselves, because many times as an adult, we think that we already figured it out. I already know. Yeah. But there is much, much, much more for us to learn about this phenomena that we call myself. What it means to be a human. So if the book will inspire or will stimulate that longing, then I did my work.
You're happy. Yeah, and you already have, because it's done this with me already. So thank you so much for creating the book. I think while we're on topic, maybe I can read another passage.
Yes, of course.
It's just beautiful to hear the insight. It's very rare I would get the opportunity to speak to the author directly while I'm reading the book, So I want to take advantage of having you here.
I'm enjoying to do that. I can do it the whole day.
Thank you, thank you. Okay, this is a good one. The pain hurts, yet it also purifies and heals. It softens the sharp edges of the personal wound. The process is necessary to change me, to soften me, meet the truth within the pain, not the lies of victimhood. Discover the treasures hidden within it.
So this what is happening to us many times when we are passing through a challenging time or overwhelming event. It's like triggering the pain body so strong, because we just got like a strong impact. And many times our first reaction is, I don't want to feel it. Why? Because it's painful. Yeah. Makes sense, no? But if we are avoiding it, or if we become a victim to it, okay, that happened to me, and poor me, and this and that, we will not bring that into resolution. We will not bring that into healing. We will not bring that into completion. So what there is to do, is to be there always with what there is. So if in this moment I have emotional pain, then I need to be with it. To be with it, not in order to indulge in it, not to indulge in the story, but to be with it in order to start to bring it back to wholeness. Yeah. And in the moment that I manage to bring it back to wholeness, this is the time that I can heal it. This is the time that the pain will melt away. So instead of going back, is to go forward. And to cross that. And it is very delicate, because we have also a lot of concept how we should deal with pain, and there is the whole psychology, culture behind it. But if we look at it from a more meditative point of view, how we deal with the pain, so we bring it back to love. We bring it back to the source. We bring it to a place that really can heal it. So it's important, for me it was important to find a way not to avoid it, but to find a way how to come back into peace with it.
Beautiful. For me, I have been battling with pain all my life, emotional pain, childhood trauma, being the victim. And only in the last 2 years, I've been able to face this pain and really deal with it, on a level where I can openly cry and feel my pain and really heal. So this passage really resonated deeply with me for that reason. So thank you for that as well. And it's something that we can go back to. I can read this whenever I need a reminder. So to have this book, I'm really excited to one day receive the hard copy of it. Hopefully, I want a signed copy.
Yeah, after the 26th, it's coming out, and we can order it. And I would love to give you Definitely.
Thank you. I would love that so much. So we're obviously going to leave a link to where the book can be found. We will leave it on the description in this live, and we'll also leave it in the comment section. So anybody watching this, please visit the Mitra's website, and you can order a book just now.
Yes, the website is inside the book, and you can find it on Instagram and Facebook, Mitra Politi, and there will be a link to purchase the book.
Yeah, we will leave all the links in the description as well for everything. So, I mean, I don't want this conversation to end because
we can continue.
I'm so happy to have you here, you know. So I want to understand more, I think, from your healing background and your side. Like you spent many years doing meditation, working with plant medicines, working with Chinese medicine. I just want to understand more of the wisdom that went into this book, you know. Tell me where you drew from to put what healing modalities do you specialize in specifically? I know meditation is the biggest one, along with acupuncture and plant medicines and things. Tell me more about just your healing background. And you spent 20 years living, for example, in a healing community.
Yeah, it's a spiritual community in Guanacaste, Costa Rica, that's called Pachamama. It's a wonderful transformation school that is based on meditation, and it really gave me a solid ground to do this self-investigation. And to grow. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and this is an eco community,
it is a spiritual community.
Spiritual. Yeah. So over there, you have many teachers and people practicing yoga, meditation.
It's in that school there is a lot of different modality from yoga, therapy, breathing, and what is tying everything up is the meditation and the silence. And there is a beautiful teacher there as well.
And I'm interested in meditation because this is something that I want to practice more. I'm very, very novice, very early in the stage of meditating. And so, to me, I understand there are different forms of meditation. Some people promote transcendental meditation. And is there something that you would specifically give me advice to for somebody starting out with this practice?
Of course. It's you need to understand that meditation is a technique. The meditation is a technique to lead us to lead us back to the essence of our being. Yeah. So what I will suggest many times when people are doing meditation, they're closing their eyes, they see first their thoughts. They first see the chaos. So, okay, we can follow the chaos of the thoughts, but it's like the mind leaves footprint. Yeah. But also the sound of creation also leaves a footprint. It's the sound of silence. So in your meditation, follow that. Follow the silence. Follow the silence in you. Follow your life force. Follow your energy. You know? And when you are coming there into the silence, when you're coming there into your life force, that is beyond the thoughts, then just rest there. Just rest there and see what happens.
So beautifully simple.
Yeah. It's so simple that it's hard for us.
Yeah, exactly. It's crazy. Yeah. Beautiful, man. And I think on that note, I would like to read one more passage from the book, if you don't mind.
Yeah, of course.
Let me find another profound one. They're all so profound, but I want to find one of my favorites. Okay, this one is about the ego. A momentary illusion of success, and already the ego tries to claim it. A momentary feeling of failure, and already the ego redefines itself. Whether to build itself up or diminish itself, it aims always to be in the center. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a trick, no? It's a trick. It's like a magician. That the purpose is to be in the center. I notice it on myself that when there is a success, then somebody inside is ready to make a big dish out of it, is ready to claim it. But also when something else is happening, something that is not successful, a failure. So instead of looking at what is happening, I invite us to look at the player that is playing that play in that role. Yeah. And once you see the player, then you can you know who you need to deal with. Before, it's okay, I have a success, then I deal with it on the outside. I have a failure, then I deal with it on the outside. But who is the player? Who is the player? And once we expose that, then is more, the reality is getting the right proportion.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and so you mentioned proportion. So many people talk about the ego and how the ego takes over and runs the world. But would you say that there is space for ego in this world?
Oh, of course.
We still need it to survive, for example.
I don't know if we need it to survive, but we the ego is part of our evolution,
Mm-hmm.
and if we deny that, then we deny part of evolution, which means that we are not receiving ourselves as whole.
I understand.
So the ego have an important role. The ego is there to many times to create our personality.
Mm-hmm.
But that personality or different aspect of that ego is there to serve us until a certain point. In one point, it's time to drop it. It's time to let it come back into rest. That something new and higher will come out of it. So being busy with the ego of oneself is just one phase. So there is more to it. So it's okay to have the ego. But remember that it's just a phase. The same as when babies are growing up, they have the phase. Yeah. If I will take the phase that they are crawling, maybe they will not walk as good as they will. So for them to crawl is important. It will strengthen the way that they are walking. So also for us, the ego is a phase. And if we play it and this and test it and this, we will be ready also to drop it and to discover more what is the evolution of being a human. Because us as humans, we need to come back into humanity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so profound. So you obviously are a healer, and you work closely with nature, with plants, with meditation, and all this kind of modalities. And the world, it seems to now, is very distant from nature on a whole. You know, there's lots of materialism, money, and all this kind of thing. And I'm curious to know, like, what's your understanding? Like, for example, we're on technology today. We're talking to microphones. We have the internet. We're on a Facebook page, and it doesn't sit well with nature, you know. And I meet many people in the past, curanderos and healers, and they don't like technology.
Yeah.
You know, and I even know that this is a bit out of your comfort zone. You're not used to working with technology. So yeah, exactly. So I mean, again, thank you so much for being here. But it's amazing to see you diving into the unknown and putting yourself in this kind of situation. But I want to understand your perspective of technology and of like this material side of the world, you know. And like, for example, me, I am torn. I need to be in nature, like I'm here in Costa Rica because I want to live here, be with my kids. But I also, part of my mind needs my phone, needs my laptop, I need my TV, I need my comforts, you know, the car, all my nice clothes and things like this, you know. So tell me about this battle between nature and technology, or like.
So it's like,
I will define it very simple, because as long as we use technology and technology doesn't use us, then it's okay. Then it's okay. Then technology is there to make things easier. Yeah, you can be here in your living room and speaking to millions of people. So that we are using technology, and the technology will not use us, because in the moment that I become a slave for any platform, then I give away my freedom. I give away my freedom. We don't look at it many times. I would say, how okay, I give away my attention. No, if it goes further, then we give our freedom away. So we need to learn how to use technology, and the technology will not use us. We need to insist on our freedom from distractions. Yeah. And in the moment that we do that, naturally, where we will lean back to, where our attention will be. Our attention will be back to nature. Our attention will be back to this phenomenon of life.
Beautiful. Something that's been coming up for me a lot lately is just questioning reality. Like this experience we're having just now is the best virtual reality game in the world.
Yes, it is.
You know, people spend millions trying to create games and create distractions and movies and all these things to distract them from reality. And reality is the most beautiful feeling in the world. You know, like you can't experience this connection. I mean, you can have no game can replicate this.
Yes.
And it's just beautiful and it's profound and it's something that I'm working a lot with, and I'm bringing my kids here to Costa Rica just to keep them away from distraction and bring them closer to nature. And your book again is a tool to remind me for this as well. So your book is like a tool for freedom. It's a tool for introspection. And
when we are allowed to do what you just said, then we are connected to the sweetness of life, because there is so much sweetness in life. Really, there is so much sweetness of being part of this great phenomenon. Yeah, the problem is that we are forgetting it. Yeah, which is okay. But it's important that we need to remember. We need to remember that we need to remember.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful.
Like this, we can connect to the sweetness.
Yeah. I think that's a beautiful note maybe to even end on. Connect to the sweetness, connect to nature, connect to yourself. And this book, for anyone out there listening, is a great tool to do that, to connect to yourself. And please search for Mitra. He's on Instagram at Mitra Politi. And we'll share his link to his website and on our comments and in the description. It's been a complete pleasure and honor.
Likewise.
And I'm looking forward, now that I'm here in Costa Rica, I'm looking forward to continuing this journey with you and growing with you and helping you on your path the way you've helped me on my path.
Oh, I would love to. Sign me up.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for listening to the Educate, Inspire, Change with Kash podcast. Your support means a lot to me. And if you would like to continue supporting me, please follow and subscribe. We're on SoundCloud, Spotify, Facebook, YouTube, and iTunes. And please leave a positive review wherever you can. Thank you.